My name is George Petrides. I'm a sculptor specializing in monumental public works. At present, I'm completing a 20th public sculpture around the world. My sculpture seeks to convey human emotion and relate to people, bringing to them culture and history with a contemporary vision. My creative process begins with research, including archaeological research, historical research, looking at photographs, looking at family stories, and referring back to the sculptures of the great sculptors such as Michelangelo and Donatello and Rodin, and further back the ancient Greek and ancient Roman sculptures of my own culture. My goal is to create works that are timeless and yet completely relevant to today's world. Much of my sculpture is figurative, with some of it being abstract. I use the human figure because I believe it is a universal language and can convey emotions to anyone who sees the work. My creative process is a loop between the physical and the digital, blending the ancient craft of hand sculpting with the precision of modern technology. I begin with a clay maquette, often working from live models or historical photographs or my own image. While the clay is still fresh, I 3D scan it, creating a detailed digital mesh that I can then refine in sculpting software, adjusting proportions, symmetry, and scale, oftentimes many larger than life size. From there, the file is translated back into the physical world. It is 3D printed or CNC milled, which I assemble and rework entirely by hand with traditional sculpting tools. Once the form is complete, it is often cast at a foundry, often in bronze using the lost wax method, the same technique used by the ancient Greeks. Finally, a patina is applied for rich tonal depth to bring warmth, texture, and character to the finished piece. One work, especially close to my heart, is Refugee, Woman of Smyrna, inspired by my grandmother Maria. She was among the tens of thousands who suffered in the Asia Minor catastrophe of the 1920s, a moment of devastation that reshaped countless lives. The final sculpture, almost 9 feet high in its base, stands today in Neopsychiko, Athens, and was unveiled exactly 100 years after Smyrna's destruction. During the unveiling ceremony, residents of that area came up to me and said, quote, "That's my grandmother." That was when I knew the piece had connected beyond my own family's history. Aretaieia, nicknamed Big Mom in English, was created for Athens' first university hospital. I was inspired by my own mother and themes of healing, motherhood, and resilience. For this project, when I came to 3D print the body, I used recycled plastic sourced from medical packaging waste. After creating the form substantially over life size, I reworked it by hand. Its gold-toned surface nods to the ancient tradition of the Greeks of gilding statues of gods in gold. In Athens, it is positioned across from the statue of the Greek statesman Venizelos, where it enters into a dialogue. The father of the nation and the mother of its people, striding optimistically towards the future. In a different setting, the head of Thalia was commissioned for Tiffany and Company's Landmark in New York, one of the most prestigious stores in the world. To create this piece, I researched classical Greek history around the 5th century BC. Later, doing more research, I found a statue that I liked in the Vatican museums. It was called Thalia, the ancient Greek muse of comedy, and lent its name to my work. Looking again to my family, I found an old photo of my mother at about age 18. I was fascinated with her beauty and her thoughtful expression and sought to express this in the Tiffany piece. This sculpture was made for the Hellenic Heads exhibition, a traveling exhibition around the world to 10 venues over 5 years. It consists of 6 over life-size busts, each inspired by a period of Greek history and culture for which a family member of mine posed. For that exhibition, I made Corey, Our Hopes for Our Children. It is a gold-toned bust modeled after my daughter at age 12. I sought to capture her energy as a young person, looking to the future optimistically. This large bust was commissioned by a prominent church in Southampton, New York. Already on the grounds was a large cross forged from the World Trade Center steel. I was inspired to create a sculpture that referred to the historic moment in 312 AD when the Emperor Constantine is said to have had a vision of a cross which proved pivotal to his empire as well as the establishment of Christianity. For research, I visited colossal Roman heads of Constantine in Rome and New York. Looking to my family, I drew for my father, aged about 40, as a sea captain of transatlantic passenger ships, conveying his leadership and clear vision. My sculptures are made to live in the world, woven into streets, campuses, hospitals, and plazas, so that they become part of daily life rather than standalone objects. I've created over 20 public works in 7 countries commissioned by governments, universities, hospitals, cultural institutions, and companies like Tiffany & Co. Whether honoring refugees, celebrating motherhood, reflecting on faith, or looking to the future, my aim is the same: to leave a cultural and emotional treasure that will belong to current and future generations.